Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Rome Business Radio. This is the Hardy Realty Show. We are broadcasting from the Hardy Realty Studios, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. I am Roger Manus with Rome Business Radio, and we've got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking Keep Rome-Floyd Beautiful with Hannah Bagley, and our Hardy Realty representative is Brooke Brinson. Hi, Brooke.
How's it going?
How are you?
I'm very good.
Hannah, how are you?
Good. How are you?
You're going to have to lean in there, Hannah. I've already fussed at you once. That microphone, you're a little soft-spoken there. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for being here. Okay, so Hannah, we were chatting before the show since you got here real early.
Sorry.
That's okay. How long have you been at Keep Rome-Floyd Beautiful? You said you've been with the city for a while, but this is a relatively new position, like within the last year, right?
Yes, in September of last year.
Okay, so how did you get sucked into this?
It's something I wanted, so it is so much fun. But being with the city for 6 years, specifically in the Public Works Division, the entire time as an operations coordinator, I got to know Emma very well and Mary Harden, and just fell in love with the servitude part of it. Just how can you help the needs that need to be met, and hearing the needs that were needed for the litter issues and just blighted areas from Public Works made me be like, I really would love to know more about that. And then the position came open and put my name in the hat and got it.
So what is your title technically?
I'm a program coordinator over Keep Rome-Floyd Beautiful.
Okay, big picture for people who may not have heard. Keep Rome-Floyd Beautiful. I guess the gist is in the name, but tell us about it.
Well, it's 3 different programs is what it stands on. It's for litter reduction, recycling education, and beautification projects. And each one of those encompass, the beautification is litter, getting rid of litter off sides of the roads. That's taking an ugly wall and cleaning it up, painting a mural, planting trees, which remove pollution from the air, all things beautification. Litter reduction, like getting our Adopt a Mile friends into it, Hardy being one of them, cleaning the sides of the road, just educating our children on how powerful they can be to just remove one piece of litter when they're going to the park to keep our environment healthy. And we drink from the river. We pull our water in from the river, so why not, teach that you're going to keep yourself healthy, and just being sustainable minded. That's all it stands for.
Okay, Brooke, you're on the board, right?
I am.
Do you go to the board meetings?
As much as I can. Thanks for plugging me.
Inside joke to our listeners. So what got you involved and interested?
Well, being in real estate, when I'm traveling around showing people houses, if we see litter, it always negatively affects the showing, especially when the litter is close to residential areas, which unfortunately, in certain areas, people will be going home and they'll just throw their trash out their window. And it's not just getting blown out of the back of the truck. It really is people that clean out before they get home.
Wow. There's lots of other options, people.
I know.
Yep.
I know.
So how long have you been involved?
Well, for years, and then I fell off, and then I joined the Litter and Blight Task Force, which has been absolved and absorbed, I guess, more by Keep Rome-Floyd Beautiful. And, I've been telling Wright Bagley for years that we need to do more about our litter in our community. And so as soon as the Litter and Blight Task Force was formed, he called me and, wanted me to be a part of it.
Gotcha. So it was because you had kind of noticed it and you wanted more to be done. So they reached out to you and
absolutely.
And here we go. So, Hannah, your background, you said, was Public Works. Mm-hmm. So what does that mean?
Public Works, they are the heartbeat of the city. They keep your drive home and to work smooth. They pave all of the roads. They're out there picking up litter every day, planting the trees, maintaining our right of ways. So, it encompasses all things city maintenance.
So you were kind of tangentially connected,
mm-hmm.
and got more and more interested as it went. Okay, I want to dive a little bit deeper into you. You basically said the 3 prongs are litter, recycling, and beautification. Mm-hmm. So like litter, you mentioned Adopt a Mile and things like that, but what are some of the specific things under the subheading of litter that you guys do, or how the community can get involved to help?
Well, this is amazing to do this, to get out to the community, to let everybody know anybody can come out and join in the litter cleanup. They can call me and say, hey, we live on this road, either in city or county, and we would love to be able to do something. So just families getting out, getting active with their kids along the trail, or along the road, that's what litter reduction really is. It's just a community getting involved.
All right, so you're kind of a one-person department with a lot of volunteer needs.
Yes, a lot of volunteer needs and a lot of support from the city. We get so much support from the city public works, county public works, our solid waste, all of the commissioners, everybody together makes up who we're made of.
Okay, and that was something we were chatting before just a few minutes ago. So this is technically a government program.
Yes.
So it's not like a traditional charitable nonprofit, but you kind of also sit at the crossroads where you kind of need that type of support, community support, to make it work. So can you talk a little bit about that, how it all works and funding and things like that?
Well, we're just, we are an extension of the city and the county. We're formed and funded between the both of them. So tax dollars is what we budget off every year. So we're heavily reliant on our volunteer. However, we want to be good stewards of our tax dollars. So being out there, being active, being on the sides of the road, planting the trees, showing everybody that your tax dollars are going towards keeping Rome-Floyd beautiful.
Okay. I've been to your website. I've seen some upcoming events. So like kind of back to the subheading of litter. Tell me a little bit more about the Adopt a Mile thing. What is that?
The Adopt a Mile program is you pick a mile. So you'll have exactly 1 mile, or you can do multiple miles along any road, county or city. And you pay $250, and that includes your sign installation, your name, your family name, or your business name on the sign. And then you go out there and cultivate the mile. I supply you with everything that you need, and you keep that mile clean. We ask you to clean it once a quarter, so just every 3 months. It's not that hard, but it's a really good way to get out there and get active and get your business or your family some exposure, and keep Rome or Floyd clean.
So that can be done by a business or individuals?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. The application is on our website, keepromefloydbeautiful.org. You go on there, and then we will turn your $250 into a wonderful working, business on their part.
So, under the litter subheading, you mentioned Adopt a Mile. Are there any other specific programs or plans, or am I tapping into some of these upcoming events now that you got going on, like with Tread? And I know May's a busy month for you.
May is super busy. We didn't skip April, but because everybody has prom, everybody has graduation, everybody has all sorts of things happening in May, tons of vacations. So May.
Wow, I'm a little old. What about you, Brooke? You going to prom?
No, but my son is.
And see, that's the group that we're tapping into, is our college and high school students that are out there volunteering.
Right. Yeah.
So having them pulled in, and through these events that we're having coming up in May, we're having Tread. We're heavily partnering with Tread now. This is the first time it's ever been done. So we're doing quarterly cleanups, one coming up on May the 7th, where we're going to meet downtown at the Town Green, which is our trailhead for the whole trail system. So we're going to do a cleanup there and along Broad Street and all downtown corridor. So we're very excited about that. And getting the businesses involved in the litter reduction is the whole aspect of what I want to see happen in 2022.
And what can be done, maybe this podcast and things like this, as you touched on, it seems like litter can be fought beforehand. Like, don't throw stuff out the window of your car, like Brooke was referring to. So how do we make that stop?
Is a habit change. And, sometimes people say old habits die hard, but it's getting the kids educated and the young adults who are up and coming, our next group of leaders in the city, and the next group of leaders. They may not stay here in Rome, but they may take that new skill and hobby of keeping your area clean out of our community and in other communities. But it's meeting the kids now where they are. I have an 8-year-old. She's with me through a lot of cleanups. She's understanding. She actually just came on a field trip to the Eco Center. So the education part of how powerful they can be to remove one piece of litter, a whole bag full of litter. It's going to start now. It may not take, it will take time, maybe 3, 4, 5 years down the road for the next generation to be able to make a change. But it's the education part that people don't have right now to see how negatively they're impacting our city and county.
This is just a weird question. I'm sorry to ask it, but what is, when we talk about litter, is it mostly like fast food bags, or is it cigarette butts, or aluminum cans of, what is it?
Everything. We did a cleanup actually Monday, I believe it was. And we found a safe on the side of the road.
What was in it?
I hear you.
Somebody broke into it and obviously tossed it. So it's sad to see that happening. But then we found furniture. We're finding lots of illegal dumping. So it's
just people just treating the outdoors as their landfill.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's another breakdown in communication and education part, is people don't understand that it's minuscule money actually to dump at the landfill. They think you're going to go and spend $7,000 to dump a couch, but it's like $5 or $10 maybe. So that's another thing that we're trying to tackle, is getting people educated on how easy it is to keep the litter off sides of the road.
Well, as education, moving kind of to your second point, was talked about litter, recycling, beautification. Recycling is, I would imagine, an educational thing as well, letting people how to separate stuff. And so how does that process work?
Well, we're working heavily with the recycling center, which Emma Wells was just in my position last year. So she's taken on the solid waste director for Floyd County. So she's over the recycling center. So education, going into the schools and telling the kids, it's fun to recycle. See when at the end of the week, how many water bottles you have, how many cereal boxes you have, and go to the recycling center and drop everything off there. Instead of, seeing mom or dad throw your McDonald's cups out the window, the most negative thing that I try to tell the kids we can do is think somebody else is going to do it. So they can be the solution to it. So educating the kids and the younger adults that recycling is utmost important, super easy, and where the recycling centers open 24 hours a day.
Now, Brooke, Hardy, when we do the monthly podcast here, I say this every time just to let our listeners know in case this is the first time they're listening. Hardy Realty is very active in the community, and you guys do so much. And we actually use this podcast not to buy or sell houses, but to celebrate the good things going on in our community, like Keep Rome-Floyd Beautiful. But Hardy, is Hardy involved in this? Do you guys do cleanups and things like that? Talk a little bit about that.
We do. Excuse me. We have adopted the mile on Riverside Parkway, and it's kind of amazing how much trash can accumulate in 3 months' time. And so we go out there. I mean, one time we picked up a toilet, trash bags, cigarette butts. And, one thing that really hits home for me is when we studied it, and we've found out that once there's a piece of litter down, it really opens people's eyes that like to litter, that, oh, there's trash, I can throw it out right there. So it kind of snowballs on you.
Oh.
Once they see some trash, boom. But back to what we're involved in, we do that, once every 3 months, and we are due to come clean up again, and I'm looking forward to it. We always have a good time. It's funny, we wear the vests, and we always cut up and say, I hope they don't think we're doing community service. Although we are, but we're not arrested for it.
It's not court mandated.
That's right. But, people.
Well, in your past, have you ever had to do court-ordered community service while we're on the subject?
Brooke finally snapped. He's out there.
That's right. Well, there was a time. No, I'm just kidding. But it's funny. We have friends that'll drive by while we're doing it, and they'll turn around and they're like, "What are y'all doing? We're out here cleaning the community. Y'all want to come join us?" And that, I think it does help for them to see people they know cleaning out there. And we just hope it keeps catching on, because our area needs to be pretty for our property values, for our tourism industry, just because you don't want to look at it.
And just quality of life.
Absolutely.
And here's a little sidebar that maybe you can talk to as well. Just inside Hardy, your own internal company morale when y'all do things as a team? And, because mostly I would imagine you're out showing houses and closing houses, and I don't know how often y'all are all actually in one room working together on stuff, but for corporate morale for any business. But if you could speak to what y'all do, y'all do so much, but when you do go out and clean the side of the road together, that's got to help kind of, hey, we work at a cool place.
Absolutely. I feel very blessed to be I'm an independent contractor for Hardy Realty, but to work under such a great boss who really believes in giving back to the community and helping the community. And yes, we're only together one day a week, and that's Tuesday mornings.
For a staff meeting or something.
If it's a sales meeting.
Sales
meeting. And but other than that, as many folks can come out on when our cleanup days, and yes, we have a great time. Usually a couple of us will walk together, and it does build good morale. We feel good. It makes you feel good when you give back to the community. It gives you a good thought.
Yeah. And Hardy does so much and many things. And so I would imagine a handful of people are heavily involved in this. And so how many will come and clean your Adopt a Mile? What's your turnout?
Maybe 10 to 15 people.
Yeah.
Last time they had 15. It was a really good turnout.
Yeah.
They've removed 400 pounds of litter in 2 hours off Riverside Parkway.
Wow.
400 pounds, 2 hours.
All right. First of all, that's thank you. That's an accomplishment.
Absolutely.
But I'm grossed out by the amount that needed to be picked up.
Correct.
No doubt.
Yeah. It's
no doubt.
It's pretty bad. And Riverside Parkway is a main artery from one side to the other side of the city and the county. So it's something everybody sees, but when they get out there and they got their safety vests on, they're just, having a good time. People are like, what are they doing? And they want to join a lot. We've had a lot of people just stop, get out of their cars and say, can we help? And they do, or come out of their houses. We're in a neighborhood. They're like, can we join you? Or I'm not able to join, but, here's a bottle of water for everybody. It's a big morale push when they actually see what they think government workers are sitting on the rear end, not doing anything, but they really are. And then we have also our community members getting out there as well.
What's the specific mile from like where to where on Riverside? Toward the ballpark, or
are you going to start telling me there's trash out there?
No, just want to concentrate where I throw stuff out.
It's from Turner McCall to the bypass on Riverside Parkway.
Okay.
So, yes. In 3 months' time, you'd be amazed at what can accumulate.
Wait, that's longer than a mile.
It might be, but we're overachievers.
That's longer than a mile. Good for y'all. Okay. Now I wanted to go next to you and mention beautification. As trying to go down in the little bit deeper on some of these big picture topics. So you had mentioned murals and things like that. So what kind of projects are going on, and how can people get involved in that? And you got anything coming up?
Well, we actually just in February, we finished Georgia's Arbor Day. So the City Public Works Division Street Department, they have multiple arborists on staff. So they planted 14 trees. So that not only beautifies, but it also more trees help to remove pollution from the air. They're a filtration system. So we just had that. And then on April 29th is National Arbor Day. So there'll be more trees planted. They're actually already in the ground, but we will have like a dedication celebration in Gilbreth Park. So it's in Floyd County. So Floyd County's go in Parks and Rec in conjunction with both of them, and then I will be there to kind of celebrate those and give educational value of why we do what we're doing, how they can help, and then it's just pleasing to the eye. For it's aesthetically pleasing. It makes people happy to see a tree blooming. So there's so many ways that beautification is just a part of, or one facet of what we do. And then the murals, we don't have any going in right now, but they're pretty to look at, aren't they? It's just, it makes people happy. But I do have one student, her name is Sophia Swan, and I don't know if you guys have gone down the Kingfisher Trail and seen the sewer main, or the sewer openings, they call it a high hat, but they've all been painted with some of our native animals in the river, and she's done a tremendous job on those. They're beautiful to look at, and it made something nasty, ugly, just a big cement thing shooting out of the ground. People wonder what it is, but now they can go down and learn about each animal, each amphibious creature that you're helping to keep litter out of the river, and you get to just have a good time while you're walking down the trail.
And that's so subtle, people may not even know that that's you.
Mm-hmm.
but they see it, and but that's you.
It is, yeah, and that's the beautification part of it. It makes using what our tax dollars and our government work so hard for to get everybody out and get active, but then you see a painting and you immediately get you're happier. It just boosts your, or elevates your time outside.
Well, what is your background? Born and raised here?
Mm-hmm. Yep, born and raised here. Grew up in Armurchie, and so I've loved being outside always. Rather play in the dirt than be behind a desk. So this is totally suits me. I love being outside.
Yeah, and making it pretty.
Yeah.
All right, we mentioned what are your upcoming events? We mentioned the tread thing, but I know that you got several things coming up that are on the calendar.
Yes, one of them being we're doing a Small Business Monday cleanup, which is will be downtown, obviously. So we're working with downtown development and Chamber of Commerce to get all of our downtown businesses involved and get out and clean the community. One thing I asked downtown is, what's one of the biggest complaints that you get? What can we meet the need for? And they're like, well, it's our downtown businesses that are always, bringing to attention that behind their business is dirty or it needs to be, cleaned up. And some people don't realize it's their private property that they think the city can come on and clean. However, getting them involved and educated will help that. So they're going to get out, and they don't know it yet. But
if it's your private property, you need to clean it.
Correct. And so this is going to be a great time. One business on one side of Broad Street might not even know the owner of this one. So not only is it a good time for connecting and maybe finding another business partner or how you can play off another business, but it's a good time of, making the community beautiful, education. So May the 2nd, that's Small Business Monday is what we've dubbed it, 9 to 12. We're going to meet in front of the Carnegie Building, start from there. And Andy, Leslie, our downtown development director, she'll be down there too and cleaning with us. So that's going to be fun. And then May the 7th, we talked about, is our quarterly tread cleanup. But then we have...
Well, and that's a new thing you said, kind of partnering with tread.
It is, and we just did one at the GE Trail, and we had a great turnout. We had somebody who was visiting from Chattanooga here. They saw it on Facebook, and they just decided to come join in, too. So it's really fun to get out and pick up litter. People think it's nasty, but it really is a good time of teamwork.
Well, and we kind of hope our podcast works that way. When stuff gets out on the internet, you never know how far the reach will be because it can go, worldwide.
Yeah.
But that's neat that somebody came down and said, I love the Martha Berry Trail behind the post office.
Yes, it's beautiful.
And they're getting ready. They put it, and they're now getting ready to connect that so you can go from there to downtown eventually. And anyway, I digress. This isn't about tread. This is about you.
Well, I do love Julie. She's awesome. She grinds every day for everything that she does. So getting to tap into her, group of people that run on the trail, and then having them understand how important it is when you're out to pick up a piece of litter. It's so simple. Just toss it in the trash can while you're there, or toss it in the recycling bin on your way back, or take a bag with you and just pick up stuff.
Yeah, there's trash cans on the trail.
There are, and they're maintained daily.
How hard is that?
It's so terrible. You put it right beside it instead of it's like 2 inches more. Just put it in there. So, but
anyway, upcoming events. I'm sorry.
It's okay with rabbit trails. But the next one I'm most excited about is on May the 6th, we're going to have a joint city-county cleanup. So we've always had city employee cleanup and then county employee cleanup. Well, this
sounds competitive.
Exactly. It always is. It's fun because at the end of each cleanup, we're like, well, Floyd County had, X amount of people show up and they picked up this many pounds. So they beat the city or vice versa by X amount of pounds. So it's a healthy competition. Everybody wins because, we're keeping the community clean. But so we're going to all meet up together, city and county employees. So people wouldn't actually work with on a daily basis. You're going to get to understand what they do a little bit more, maybe chat along the way where you're walking around. And we're going to meet in Garden Lakes around Lake Conasauga. And a lot of people don't know it, and Brooke's probably aware that you could be a city resident, but your next door neighbor could live in the county, because so many people have annexed themselves in for the trash pickup and everything like that, so that you don't have to take it to the remote sites anymore. So it's a good healthy competition that we're going to just bring together, and all of Garden Lakes is going to win.
Yeah, you're tapping into the competition, though.
I love the competition part of it because my husband actually works for Floyd County, and I worked for the city, so I'm just like, we beat you, So it's going to be fun to get everybody together, and and understand, what we can bring to the table. And then we'll just we'll see what happens. I hope we have a wonderful turnout.
So what do you need? You need volunteers. You need can people donate? What do you need? We do need volunteers. That's the main thing. And when everybody wants to donate something, and I'm not more looking for $1. I'm looking for maybe somebody's services. So maybe somebody has a food truck. Or somebody has, a ton of water that they've had stocked up for whatever, and they need to get rid of it. We'll take, a cleanup. Anybody can come out and maybe serve everybody breakfast one morning, because we always start usually around 9, so it's usually chilly. Everybody could use something warm to eat or, something cool to drink. So it would be great to have that from our community, and I'm sure everybody could use a tax write-off of something, so that's always something they can use it for. That is what I'm always hoping to get, is to tap into our community, businesses who can get their name out there by sponsoring or bringing their services for free and giving to the people that are out there working daily. Or just at a cleanup, just show up, set your food truck up, and you can make money too. So there's a lot of different ways that I would love to see the community give back. And the Adopt a Mile thing would be a way to do that as well. But you're looking beyond just getting the litter picked up. You're trying to create connectivity for other agencies, people, businesses to kind of join in and support a cleanup.
Yeah. Any way that anybody can support, I would love to have them involved. And I enjoy meeting new people. I enjoy meeting all the new.
Well, you're kind of shy.
Well,
so some people I worry about, they come in the podcast, or going to have to pull out of them, Brooke. Some people I just sit back and go.
Well, yes, I do. I like to sit back and observe sometimes, and sometimes you can't get me shut up. So
no, you're passionate about this. This is awesome.
It is. It's something I want my daughter to be able to have a clean community one day, and I don't want to ruin it while we're here. Just saying somebody else will do it. It'll be okay. But if we don't take action now, then they're going to be left with a crap hole. We don't want that.
Well, I just continue to be stunned that people throw stuff out of their car window riding down the road.
No.
I mean,
we had somebody do that the other night. We actually saw it on a security camera. My husband went to check the mail, and he came back. He had to go put something in the mailbox. There was not a Popeye's bag there when he went out, but when he went back out, there it was. And sure enough, we watched it on the video. They went by, chunked it out their back window, and it was like everything from their meal shoved down in there. They're just like, nah, there we go.
Just go to Big Dan's car wash. And
or when you're getting gas, but take your trash out.
Yeah.
Hello, people.
Or when you come home.
Yes.
Hello, people. Okay, so you need whatever kind of support you can get, volunteers or businesses getting involved. All right, so how can people contact you, connect with you, social media, phone numbers, Facebook, website? You have it. You name it. What can they do?
We have all of it. So I have my website is keepromefloydbeautiful.org. So you can always go on there, find out the latest events, contact from there, get on the mailing list. Find out when our next board meetings are. You can send anything to us to let us know, hey, this is the issue that I see. This is what I'd like to have done with it, or what can you do to help me, educate. Teachers can get their kids in on field trips. There's all sorts of things that we can do. And then Facebook and Instagram that we're always posting. We try to post at least 2-3 days. I'm very responsive. So if you need something, send a picture of an issue, let me know where it's at. We'd love to be happy to help. But then also, the people that are sending these issues in, we'd love to have them actually come out and volunteer to, take care of the issue too. And I'm always available at my office, so they can always call. My number is 706-236-4456. Remember that. Always call. But there's many different ways to get in touch, and there's many outlets that we can service to people. So you see a problem, report it, and then you can even be the one that takes care of it. So I would love to see our community members not only complain or, think that nobody's hearing them. We hear you, we're doing something, we want to help, and you can actually be the one that rectifies the issue as well.
Well, and Brooke, that's actually so cool that, when we do these Hardy shows, you guys are plugged in. You've been out picking up trash, and you're on the board.
Yep. Absolutely.
So just any final thoughts from you before we wrap up here? Or how can people get a hold of you if they want to buy or sell a house?
Well, you can look at my website, brookebrinson.com, or you can call me at 706-409-3838, and I'd be glad to help you.
You've been buying and selling a lot of houses the last couple of years.
It's just been absolutely nuts. I've been calling it widespread panic is what.
That'd be a great band name.
People are panicking over getting houses, and I'm helping them through that panic.
All the way to the bank.
Well, it's been lucrative. It has, but it's also been very rewarding because it's a challenging market when you're a buyer. But it's a really great time to sell. If you're ready to cash in, now's the time.
That's good to know. Okay. Any final thoughts? Hannah, anything that you maybe want to mention that we didn't get around to?
Well, I do want to let everybody know that we received a grant from Keep Georgia Beautiful, and we were looking to spend this money very wisely and get as much out of it as we can. So one of our goals and one of the board meetings, and Brooke, if you'd been there, you'd know. No, just kidding. No, but if we would love to see 1,000 volunteers by the end of July. And I know that sounds crazy. People are like, there's no way you can get that. But I do think there is with a lot of exposure. And if you think about it, we have 36 miles adopted city and county-wide. If we get 10 volunteers per mile, there we go. We've got 360, almost 400 people volunteer to remove that. And you think one person removes just one bag of litter. A bag of litter is roughly 20, 30 pounds. So that's a ton of litter removed, tons of education being done. So that is what we want to do, is just see our volunteer go up, our education go up, and our exposure go up. That way our community can get involved and understand the severity of their actions, throwing out bags, emptying out their car on the way home.
Just people, think.
Yes, it all ends up in the river. Where do we get our water from? I know it's treated, but there's so much trash that's being pulled in before we have to treat our water, and that could be eliminated by simply disposing of it right, whether it be putting your litter in the trash can and it going to the landfill, or if it's recyclable, send it to the recycling center. All the city of Rome has trash and recycling pickup. Utilize your yard carts, people. We can do it together.
Well, and even then, you mentioned something earlier, Brooke, about, there's just so much stuff out there. It's not just blowing out of the back of a pickup truck. Of course, there's a lot of pickup trucks in Rome-Floyd County.
Right.
But knowing that something is just mindless, a mindless habit. Oh, I don't want to put this empty McDonald's bag in the cab of my truck. I'll put it in the back, and it can blow out.
It can.
Just put it in the cab until you get to a trash can.
Just drive it home. It's pretty easy.
Because it's mindless. You don't mean anything by it all. Just throw it in the bed. Well, then it blows out, and you've added to the problem.
Right.
But if you just are aware of it, and it's another thing I want to compliment you on, Hannah, because you've talked about every time you talk, it's not just about the cleanup and beautification. You mentioned the education to make people aware. Sometimes it's innocent like that with the pickup truck example, but sometimes people are just idiots. Sometimes they're clueless. But if a kid sees their parents do it, the kid needs to, hey, mom, dad,
Correct. Yeah. And that's what we're looking for. Is like
Right.
my daughter was like, I saw somebody litter. Maybe they should be told they shouldn't do that. And, getting the kids aware. So if you do see, kids will tell you, everything. They have no filter. So, if you get a kid come on a field trip and you can expose them to the fish that was going to swallow the bubblegum wrapper and the fish is going to die, they might be more prone to tell their parent, hey, Mom, we might not need to do that because, of course, they don't have a filter, so they'll tell you whatever they want to. So.
Right. Well, and cigarette butts and all that. People that they don't think, okay, that's just, they're done with it. But okay. Anyway, I've gotten off on my tangent now. All right. So are we good? Any more final thoughts?
I just want to thank Hannah for doing all the work she does, and y'all coming out and help us keep Rome-Floyd beautiful.
Well, see, that's what I was going to say to close with.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
He stole your thunder.
Keep Rome-Floyd beautiful, everybody. All right, thank y'all so much. This has been great. Brooke, Hannah, we appreciate it. You've been listening to Rome Business Radio. We broadcast from the Hardy Realty Studios. This is the Hardy Realty Show, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. Thanks for listening.